For remaining 80% current affairs video and general studies complete videos, please subscribe to our complete package. 3. Did India get solution for public stock holding for food security? At the 10th Ministerial Conference of the World Trade Organization, WTO, at Nairobi? Without safeguard mechanism, why can't India ensure food security? What are the problems associated with India while ensuring food security? Why this crisis emerged in India? GS Paper 2, Important International Organizations. GS Paper 3, Agrarian Economy and Food Security. Did India get solution for public stock holding for food security? At WTO? Union Commerce Minister had asserted that India did not yield ground on the issue of public stock holding for food security purposes. The truth is that India had not yielded much ground on this issue either at Bali or at Nairobi. At both the meetings, it was agreed that negotiations will be held on the issue to find a permanent solution for buffer stocking. The outcome of meetings indicate that there is no immediate threat to India's food security policy. Without safeguard mechanism, why can't India ensure food security? India had wanted to keep the public stock holding of food grains off the WTO agenda in the name of sovereignty. It sounds good, but it is not very meaningful. Even if there was no demand from the WTO to give an account for the buffer stocks that the state would maintain in order to help vulnerable sections of the population access to food at affordable prices, there is the question of economic viability. Even if there was no pressure from the WTO, India would not have been able to procure all the food grains produced in the country. It is generally accepted that public procurement accounts for only 25% of the total production. What are the problems associated with India while ensuring food security? The problem in India has been that buffer food stocks are not maintained well, and a significant portion of it is destroyed through rotting of the grains. Secondly, governments have not been successful in making an efficient use of the public distribution system, PDS, even in times of distress. It is not yet true that a WTO agreement would prevent India from taking care of its hungry. What about the India's argument of the subsidies by developed countries? The other agriculture-related question is that of subsidies, especially those subsidies which promote agriculture exports. This is again a complicated question, and it cannot be decided through big talk. It is the developed countries like the United States and regions like the European Union, EU, which have been distorting world agricultural prices through subsidies. As a matter of fact, India should be challenging the developed countries on the issue of governmental support for farmers. It is time that there is honest debate about agriculture in the country. Every agricultural subsidy does not benefit farmers or the poor people. It is now a known fact that the fertilizer subsidy benefits fertilizer companies and not the farmers. Why this crisis emerged in India? The emerging crisis in Indian agriculture is not that of shortfall in production. It has now turned into a crisis of soil degradation, overproduction, and diminishing returns for farmers. This is especially so in Punjab and Haryana, the granaries of the country. India has attained self-sufficiency in food grain production, but it cannot rest on the laurels. The WTO should not be used as a punching bag by the political parties to evade the difficult and real debate on agriculture. 4. Juvenile Justice Bill passed in Upper House. What are the salient features of the bill? GS Paper 2, Government Policies and Important Bills. Why recently in news? Juveniles aged 16 years and above will now be tried under laws for adults for heinous crimes as Parliament on Tuesday passed a much-expected bill. The bill was passed against the backdrop of a juvenile convict being released in the gang rape-cum-murder case of December 2012. Salient features of the bill. The bill mandates setting up juvenile justice boards and child welfare committees in every district. Both must have at least one woman member each. Once the bill becomes law, the decision to try a juvenile 16 years or older as an adult will be taken by the Juvenile Justice Board, which will have a judicial magistrate and 2 social workers as members. If the board decides against it, the juvenile will be sent for rehabilitation. The child welfare committees will look at institutional care for children in their respective districts. Each committee will have a chairperson and 4 other members, all specialists in matters relating to children. The bill aims to consolidate and amend the law relating to children alleged and found to be in conflict with law, and children in need of care and protection by catering to their basic needs through proper care, protection, development, treatment, social reintegration, by adopting a child-friendly approach. The proposed law also aims at adjudicating and disposing cases dealing with juveniles, keeping in mind the best interest of the children and their rehabilitation. The bill also deals with adoption of children and lays down the eligibility criteria for adoptive parents. A central adoptive resource agency will frame the rules for adoption, which will be implemented by state and district level agencies.